Costa Gavras, short for Konstantinos Gavras, born February 12, 1933, is a Greek-French film director and producer, who lives and works in France. He is known for films with overt political themes, most famously the fast-paced thriller Z, 1969, but he has also made comedies. Most of his movies have been made in French, however, 6 were made in English: Missing, 1982, Haneke, 1983, Betrayed, 1988, Music Box, 1989, Mad City, 1997, and Amen, 2002. He produces most of his films himself, through his production company KG Productions. Early life: Costa Gavras was born in Lateral Aias, Arcadia. His family spent the Second World War in a village in the Peloponnese, and moved to Athens after the war. His father had been a member of the pro-Soviet branch of the Greek resistance, and was imprisoned during the Greek Civil War. His father's Communist Party membership made it impossible for Costa Gavras to attend university in Greece or to be granted a visa to the United States, so after high school he went to France, where he began studying law in 1951. Early career: in 1956, he left his university studies to study film at the French National Film School, HIC. After film school, he apprenticed under Yves Allégret, and became an assistant director for Jean Giono and René Clair. After several further positions as first assistant director, he directed his first feature film, Compartiment Tours, in 1965. Selected films: his 1967 film Shock Troops, Unharmed the Trop, was entered into the 5th Moscow International Film Festival. NZ, 1969, an investigating judge, played by Jean-Louis Trintignant, tries to uncover the truth about the murder of a prominent leftist politician, played by Yves Montand, while government officials and the military attempt to cover up their roles. The film is a fictionalized account of the events surrounding the assassination of Greek politician Grigoris Lambrakis in 1963. It had additional resonance because, at the time of its release, Greece had been ruled for 2 years by the regime of the colonels. Z won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. Costa Gavras and co-writer Jorge Semprún won an Edgar Award from the Mystery Writers of America for Best Film Screenplay. Levu, The Confession, direction, 1970, follows the path of Artur London, a Czechoslovakian communist minister falsely arrested and tried for treason and espionage in the Slansky show trial in 1952. State of Siege, 1973, takes place in Uruguay under a conservative government in the early 1970s. In a plot loosely based on the case of U.S. police official and alleged torture expert Dan Mitrian, an American embassy official, played by Yves Montand, is kidnapped by the Tupamaros, a radical leftist urban guerrilla group, which interrogates him in order to reveal the details of secret American support for repressive regimes in Latin America. Missing, originally released in 1982 and based on the book The Execution of Charles Horman, concerns an American journalist, Charles Horman, acted out in the film by John Shea, who disappeared in the bloody coup led by General Augusto Pinochet in Chile and backed by the United States in 1973. Horman's father, played by Jack Lemmon, and wife, played by Sissy Spacek, search in vain to determine his fate. Nathaniel Davis, U.S. Ambassador to Chile from 1971 to 1973, a version of whose character had been portrayed in the movie, under a different name, filed a $150 million libel suit, Davis v. Costa Gavras, 619 F. Sup. 1372, 1985, against the studio and the director, which was eventually dismissed. The film won an Oscar for Best Screenplay Adaptation and the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Betrayed, 1988, roughly based upon the terrorist activities of American neo-Nazi and white supremacist Robert Matthews and his group The Order. In Music Box, 1989, a respected Hungarian immigrant, Armin Mueller-Stahl, is accused of having commanded an anti-Semitic death squad during World War II. His daughter, a Chicago defense attorney played by Jessica Lange, agrees to defend him at his denaturalization hearing. The film is inspired by the arrest and trial of Ukrainian immigrant John Demjanjuk and screenwriter Joe Esterhaus' realization that his father had been a member of the Hungarian Arrow Cross Party. The film won the Golden Bear at the 40th Berlin International Film Festival. La Petite Apocalypse, 1993, was entered into the 43rd Berlin International Film Festival. Amen. 2003, was based in part on the highly controversial 1963 play, Der Stellvertreter. Ein Christliches Trauerspiel, The Deputy, a Christian Tragedy, by Rolf Hocketh. The movie alleges that Pope Pius XII was aware of the plight of the Jews in Nazi concentration camps during World War II, but failed to take public action to publicize or condemn the Holocaust. Apologists for the Vatican's role during World War II have cited Pope Pius XII's 1942 Christmas address as evidence that the papacy and the Roman Catholic establishment did indeed condemn Nazi genocide, but the relevant passage, a single short paragraph, in this address is so vague, obfuscated and nonspecific as to offer little support for this claim. These issues continue to be disputed, with the Vatican thus far declining to open to historians all of its archives relating to the extent of the Pope's knowledge during World War II.